I made a post the other day saying it's easy to improve, but it's difficult and sometimes even impossible for a lot of people to actually change. And a lot of people actually talk and comment about it, and some people wanted to understand more about it, and some people just wanted to say how not true it is. And it brought then up a lot of conversations. Then when you actually look at it, a lot of people, because they read a book, they think that, oh, okay, I'm changing, or because they go to a seminar, or because they listen to a podcast, an audio, and then they start saying that they are changing, right? But when you actually look at it fundamentally, you see people for like 5 years, 10 years who have been going to events, seminars, reading books, and at the end of the day, their life is literally or pretty much the same. They hang around with the same people, they have the same job, it's literally the same routine. But because they are now reading more books or listening to audios, they have the assumption that their life is changing. But when you actually look at it, like I was saying, if you look at them, they hang around with the same people, the same losers, the same community, the same people, everything literally the same. It's like you're taking an apartment, just renovating it, changing the decor or the setting of the apartment. Yes, the apartment may look prettier now, but it hasn't changed at all. But change that I'm talking about, it's you taking, for example, an apartment and making a castle out of it. And this is then where the craziest part comes in, or where the challenging part comes in, or the part that is more audio studios comes in, where you actually have to break down the entire apartment in order for you to start anew. And that's why changing is difficult. That's why changing is impossible for 99.9999% of the population. And then we can ask the question, why is it so difficult to change? Then when you actually look at it, how a human being is constructed, or how a human being is being programmed since they are born. I'm going to take that time frame. Obviously, it started even before that, but I'm going to take that time frame, the moment you were born. The moment you're born, you have something called the natural learning ability. So that's that thing that allows you to take information in within the first 7 years of your life. And that's also what allows a person to learn their vocabulary, to learn their programming, their mindset, everything that you want to think about. But the baseline is that's the moment where you learn your vocabulary. And your vocabulary is then your programming. Programming, out of your programming comes your beliefs. Out of your beliefs comes your thought, and out of your thought comes your emotions. And because during that time, that's where you have that natural learning ability, that's also the moment where the baseline, the fundamental of your life are being laid down. And unfortunately then, after 7 years, you lose that natural learning ability. That's why the older you get, the harder it becomes to learn new things. And for some people, it's just impossible. So that's the fundamental reason why you cannot change, because you cannot become a child again. Because if I take the example of the apartment, to turn an apartment into a castle, you need to destroy the apartment first. It's literally impossible to turn an apartment into a castle. It's not possible. Even if you try to decorate your apartment so that it looks like a castle, it's still an apartment. It would just be a fake castle. That's why changing is so hard, because you've lost your natural learning ability. And because of that, we just kind of like turn around. We learn something now and we memorize them. And this is also another really big thing when it even comes to education, because what school has done to us, at least one of the craziest and darkest thing that school has done to us, is to make us just like swallowing information, memorizing information without actually understanding what they means. And later on then, because we have been trained like that to just take information and then regurgitate them without even understanding what that is. So your entire life you have been conditioned, programmed to just take information and then vomit them again. Meaning, even when later on in life you say, okay, I actually want to learn something so that I can improve, change my life, you are still not able to learn because you have been trained to just memorize information. And when you memorize something, it doesn't mean that you know it. So that's why those are some reason why you can't change, because right now you've lost first your natural learning ability, and the second part is because even when you want to learn something, you're just memorizing them and you don't know practically what those informations mean. That's why you can do affirmations your entire life, but nothing will ever actually change because you don't process those informations. You don't understand what it means. And when I say you don't process those informations, is you're going to look someone and you have thousands of examples like this where someone tells you that, oh, I read this book and out of this book, it allows me to make millions. And then you're like, oh, great, I'm going to take the book and read it again. You take the book, you read it, and when you finish the book, you ask yourself, but where's that secret? Like, which part of the book helped you make millions? Because I didn't find it. And the reason is simple. It's because you read it, but you don't understand it. You just memorized a bunch of informations, but you didn't process them. That's what processing means. It's to be able to use the information that you just learned. And if you're not able to process those informations that you just learned, then there's nothing that you're going to be doing with those informations, because you have been trained purposely to just memorize them. That's what you did your entire life. That's why you're doing now, even when you actually say, oh, I want to change my life. So that's why you can improve yourself, but changing is on another level. And when we talk about beyond self-perfection, no, not beyond self-perfection, but when we talk about beyond self-improvement, that's what we're talking about. Because just like the word says, personal development or self-improvement, yes, you're improving, but you're not changing. But it's literally just about changing. Right now, we are in a time in life where you have to change yourself. So many things are actually moving, so many things are actually going on. And if you do not change yourself so that you can improve your life in the best way, it's literally going to be pretty much hard, difficult. Either you have a job or you have a business or you want to have a business and so on. It's literally going to become way more challenging. And I always entertain the idea of people thinking that, oh, right now we have so much opportunities, which in itself is not really correct. Because when you look at things right now, because back in the days, everyone has their shops, right? You have mom and pops, like literally everyone owned their business. And now with the first industrial revolution, that's where we started to have like a group, an industry, a corporation, where people will then get there and perform some work, right? So it means that we have gone from little individual having their farm, having their little small shops and so on. Now we have a big company, right, where people now go and work onto that company. Meaning for those people to come and work there, it's because they don't have their jobs anymore, right? And now they don't have their small businesses anymore. Now they come to work for a corporation. And now later on with another revolution with the internet was fascinating, because with the internet now it becomes even bigger, where you have one big corporation then swallowing every other small businesses. Because right now when you think of the internet, there are just so few companies that you know on the internet. You know Amazon, you know Facebook, because you can talk, Instagram, that's Facebook, so that Meta. Who else? Apple, Google. Who else is out there? Microsoft, maybe a little bit. So you can call them. Of course, there are many, but we actually know like the big guys who owns like the World Wide Web. And now with the AI coming, it's even gonna be a smaller group who is gonna own everything. So meaning the idea that, over time, more opportunities keep coming, it's not true in itself, because everything is going to be now even more limited. You may have more chances to build something, but there aren't necessarily few more opportunities out there, because right now with the AI, it's going to be owned, like I said, with even a few group of people, meaning they can literally decide to do whatever it is that they want with it. Like right now, those who use Facebook and so on to run their business, when you start using those platforms to run your business, you become like a slave, because you cannot say anything that Facebook or Google doesn't want you to say. Because if you do say it, so they cancel you. And when they cancel you, you are gone. Your business is shut off. It's shut up. So, and that's going to be even more and more control, because over time, they even have that agenda saying that 2030, you own nothing and you are happy. Right? So the craziest things are coming. So that's why right now we actually need to change ourselves so that we can actually create a better society. We cannot get rid of the technology. As a matter of fact, it's great because we can use technology to actually provide for a lot of people. But at the same time, if we do not change who we are, because we are the one creating the AI, we are the one programming the AI, we are the one feeding the information or the data into the AI. So that means the AI is only going to perform as we are as men. But we have failed as the human race. That's why right now it's not about improving who you are anymore. It's about changing who you are. And that's why it's important right now. And nowadays we have something that can allow you to reactivate your natural learning ability. Because I really don't care what you do. If you cannot reactivate your natural learning ability, you will not learn, you will not change. Therefore, you will remain a loser, you will remain a consumer, you will remain a slave the rest of your life. Not just your life, but your children, the children of your children. Your entire generation is going to just stay like that. And over time, it's just going to get worse, because now we are coming with the climate change, with all this kind of stuff. Meaning you are not even going to be allowed to eat proper food, because right now farmers are not allowed to grow food anymore. Like, what are you going to eat? Like crickets? That's like literally the food that's coming. So that's why right now it's key. It's so imperative for us to actually change, not improve ourselves. We have been improving, but now it's time to change. And if you cannot change, meaning if you cannot get your natural learning ability back, I don't know what to say to you, man. Regardless of how much books you read, regardless of how much meditation you do, regardless of like how many seminar you go to, it's just pointless. It's literally just pointless. So that's what was about when it comes to improving or changing. There's a big difference. You can improve, but changing is on another level. And when I talk about actually getting your life better, it's not just improving, it's actually changing everything so that you can have a life that's best for your fucking self. So I'm gonna stop cursing, but that's the point, that's the difference, and that's what we're here for.